There are various strategies for achieving and maintaining a healthy weight. In this video, we will discuss some very basic strategies that can be helpful and healthy. So any successful weight loss program should combine nutrition, physical activity, and behavior strategies are components. One nutrition strategy in successful weight loss is creating a negative energy balance by lowering calories. So when lowering your calories, though, you want to make sure that you maintain good diet quality. You can do this by balancing the carbohydrate, protein, and fat intake and following the AMDR, which is 45 to 65% of calories coming from carbohydrate, 10 to 35% of calories coming from protein, and 20 to 35% of calories coming from fat. You also can get good diet quality by choosing a variety of foods from all the different food groups. This variety helps you make sure that you're getting the nutrients that your body needs. Now, another nutrition strategy is paying attention to portion sizes because portion sizes can affect caloric intake, and being aware of your portions can help people consume the right amount of calories for their weight. These are some fun pictures, but portions have increased over the years. For example, a bagel 35 years ago was only about 140 calories, and today's bagels are about 350 calories or 210 calories more. And so just paying attention to portions can help with nutrition strategies. Another nutrition strategy is to read food labels and labels at restaurants to better understand how many calories you're consuming. So these are two labels from a frozen dessert, and the serving size on both of these is 2/3 of a cup. But the one on the left, if you consume 2/3 of a cup, you'll consume 110 calories. Well, the one on the right, if you consume 2/3 of a cup, you'll consume 350 calories. So reading labels helps you know what you're eating and what nutrients you're getting. Another nutrition strategy is consuming low energy dense foods. Now, energy density is the amount of calories per volume of food. So for example, foods high in water like vegetables have a lower energy density. So you don't get as many calories for the amount of food. Like I can eat a lot of spinach for the calories that it provides. Where foods that are high in fat and lower in water, like fried chicken that we have a picture here, or cookies that have a lot of sugar and fat in them, they have higher energy density. So there are a lot of calories and not very much volume. Now, you can see that the plate on the right has a much larger volume of food than the plate on the left, but it has about half the calories, and that's because it's lower energy density. We've got the vegetables there that give you more volume for fewer calories. We have baked chicken instead of fried chicken, so we're lowering the fat. So basically, if you lower foods that are, if you limit foods that are higher in fat and higher in sugar, you get a lower energy density for the volume. Now, with all this about nutrition strategies, just remember, don't deprive yourself of the bounteous, delicious foods that are available. There are no good or bad foods. And whenever you start to restrict foods, it really focuses your attention on the food. And sometimes it can make you want more, but it's just not healthy from a mental standpoint. You don't have a good relationship with food. If you start to tell yourself things like, oh, I just succumbed to temptation, or, oh, I just indulged in that, that can lead to feeling guilty. You might experience, there might be, well, I'm a failure with my food because I ate that, and we do not want that. You want to remember that all foods can fit if you follow some parameters, like eating appropriate portion sizes that we talked about, choosing high calorie foods less often, making sure you get a variety of foods from all the different food groups within MyPlate, and that can give you a healthy eating strategy. Now, our next component of healthy weight loss is physical activity. Physical activity augments nutrition and weight loss. Now, for weight loss, people need about 300 minutes per week of moderate activity. That would be walking where you're breathing pretty heavy, but you can still talk to somebody, but you can't sing. So about 300 minutes a week for weight loss. Once you are at a healthy weight and you want to maintain, you need about 150 minutes to week up to 300, so 150 to 300 minutes a week for weight maintenance. And this is intentional activity. A lot of times people think they're active when they're just busy, but intentional physical activity. Busy doesn't mean active. You also want to watch less than 10 hours of TV or screen time a week. But the biggest benefit for physical activity is just improved fitness. Okay, our last component for a healthy weight is to monitor the behaviors surrounding food and eating. And the first step to behavior change is just identify your behaviors. Before you eat, you want to ask yourself, like, why am I eating? What am I eating? When am I eating? How am I eating? And be mindful. For example, if you find yourself that every time you study, you've got a big old bag of chips and you're eating them, you should say, why is that? Am I really hungry? Why am I eating the chips? Is it just because it's a habit? Well, if that's a habit, then maybe make a substitution for the chips and eat something else. Or go to a place where food isn't allowed, like a library or something like that. But always ask yourself these questions so you're mindful about what you're eating and you're not just eating mindlessly. Some other things to think about for behavior strategies are shopping. Obviously, don't shop when you're hungry. You're less likely to buy a variety of foods when you do that. And when you shop, do try to limit highly processed foods. Plan your meals and snacks and eat them. When you know what you're going to eat, you generally do a good job of choosing a variety. But when you don't know what you eat, you just start like grazing and grabbing things, and it may not be the most nutritious, and it may be higher in calories. Think about the activities you do when you're eating. So, for example, do you sit there and eat while you're watching TV, and then do you become a mindless eater when that happens? If that's the case, maybe set a rule we don't have food in the TV room, or we only eat in the dining room, or whatever it might be. But think about the activities you do that lead to eating. Think about holidays and parties and social gatherings and what you're going to do there. Maybe you are going to eat everything that's offered. Maybe you're not going to eat some things, but just have a plan in place for what you're going to do. Think about some eating behaviors. So for example, do you chew your food thoroughly? Some people, they eat so fast, they don't even chew their food. I've even known of people that have choked with that. It's okay to leave food on your plate. You don't have to clear your plate. If you're full, you're full. Think about your body. Take some time when you're eating, stop. Take a minute and ask yourself, am I full? Am I satisfied? Do I want to eat more? That will help you look at your eating behaviors. Think about rewards that you can give yourself if you're trying to bring your weight down or maintain a healthy weight, and have these rewards be things that are not related to food. So maybe you can go do an activity with a friend or something like that, but plan some rewards for positive behavior and reward yourself. Monitor yourself. Maybe you want to keep a journal of what you're eating, how you're feeling when you're eating, where you're eating, who you were with, and record that. That's going to help you identify those things that you can be mindful about your eating. And then do what we call cognitive restructuring. Cognitive things are the stories that we tell ourselves. Set reasonable goals. Don't set something, a goal for weight loss that, I'm going to lose 25 pounds in 2 weeks. That's not reasonable or healthy. Focus on long-term accomplishments, not an occasional setback. It's okay if you didn't meet your calorie goals today or your physical activity goals today, if over the long run you are meeting them. Try to stay away from words like always or never, because they're just so extreme. So let's talk about the definition of healthy weight loss for people who need to lose weight. There's a variety of ways that people can lose weight. We've just talked about a few strategies here, but a healthy weight loss includes the following. The weight loss is slow, about 1 to 2 pounds a week. When you get really quick changes in weight, that's often the result of fluid and sometimes even lean muscle loss, but fat loss is generally a little bit slower. So on average, about 1 to 2 pounds a week. Some people, when they first start to lose weight, will lose a little bit more in the beginning, but over time, about 1 to 2 pounds a week. The weight loss should be maintained long period for at least a year. So long-term weight loss, if you lose weight and keep it off for a year, we know that's a good healthy weight loss. That means that there's not this regain, lose, regain pattern going on. We're just a pretty stable weight over a period of time. And some people will lose weight for about 6 months and then plateau for a while and keep that off. You should have a healthy relationship with food. You shouldn't fear foods. You shouldn't have foods that you're like, well, this is a wonder food or a superfood. Just that, foods can fit in a healthy diet and that you have a healthy relationship with food. And your physical activity should be part of a healthy weight loss plan. It should be part of your lifestyle, something that's fun and enjoyable, not something you have to do, but something you want to do and that you find that it brings joy to your life. Now, lastly, value yourself and others for traits that are unrelated to weight, like your intelligence. Are you a good friend? All the talents. There are so many talents out there. Weight is not who you are, and it's not who other people are as well. Remember that healthy weights come from eating a variety of foods. There's no magic diet out there that exists. Just, follow a healthy eating pattern over time. Be physically active. Do things that are fun. Don't eat or exercise to lose or gain weight. Eat and exercise because it's healthy and it's part of your lifestyle. And seek support from others that are going to enhance your self-esteem and support you as you go on developing a healthy lifestyle and either achieving or maintaining a healthy weight.